Hey y'all, Andrea here at VW Family Farm. Welcome back. I think I showed y'all that tree last year. That is my absolute favorite tree on this entire planet, I guess. I love that tree. It turns beautiful colors and it just brings me joy. And this time of year, it's easy for people to get down. Winter is on its way here in the US especially. And that means a lot of gloomy days are ahead. We all know it. Wet, cold temperatures, and that can just be sort of depressing. But there's so much beauty leading up to winter, and there's even beauty in winter. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is getting ready for winter, what there is we're doing here on the homestead to prepare for it. Also, we are at the very beginning here where we live in Zone 7B of having a killing frost. So what that means is, yes, we have had one the last couple nights and we're going to continue to for a couple nights, and then it's going to warm right back up. So if you can salvage some things, you could actually enjoy things like some garden vegetables and things like that for several more weeks before freezing nights come again, possibly. So that's what I want to talk to you about, just kind of show you around and show you some things we're doing to get prepared and some things you might need to be doing yourself. So in all honesty, our garden is looking pretty sad at this point, but there is still some life in it. You can still see some green. We're actually about to try to dig some potatoes. We'll see what we get. And I'm just gonna show you kind of some things you can do to hold out and have some vegetables for a bit longer. So let's get to it and try and dig some potatoes. So in all honesty, we didn't get many potatoes, maybe like a quarter of a bushel, but we actually did not even plant those. Those were volunteers that came up and then bloomed, and they died back with the last couple nights of cold nights we got. But anything we get at this point is just free food, in my opinion. So I actually did go ahead and pick those up, took them in, and we will go ahead and eat on those as well as our spring harvest of potatoes. So you probably saw in some earlier clips on this video, there is some white ground cover strode out through here. That is because I've actually covered some of these plants a couple different nights, and then I just kind of take it off during the day and let them get some sunshine, because it does still warm up here even though it's getting cold at night. It's still getting into the 70s during the day. And then you can see we still have green tomato plants. So it actually has not gotten cold enough yet that it's completely killed these. It's probably coming in the next night or two. That's why I've got one of them down here off camera. You can't see it here, but I've got the white cover ready to put on it. I've had it on that one because it is my most loaded plant. And that's one thing I encourage you guys. If you have a big garden, at this point, it's probably not time to try to save the entire garden, because what's the point? You're gonna do a lot of work for little reward. You're gonna extend it, in our case, at best, maybe a couple weeks. But at this point, if I could save one tomato plant so I could keep getting enough tomatoes to eat off of fresh, that's good enough for me. And another thing is, you can go out and just harvest everything. You can harvest all your green tomatoes at this point, take them in, put them in a lot of people will put them in a cardboard box, put them up under the bed, and they'll continue to ripen. And you can have garden fresh tomatoes for quite a while that way. And another thing, don't waste your time if you're just getting your first freeze of the season worrying about covering things like cabbages, brassicas, things in that family, broccolis and turnips and radishes and things like that. They can take pretty cold temperatures, and they can take really cold temperatures, and then as long as those are not sustained for like a long period of time, they're going to be okay. And they like the cold. Actually, they thrive in the cold. So I wouldn't waste my time or energy or ground cover covering those type things. Now, things like squashes, Now things like squash, you can see here, this is actually a zucchini plant. They will not last. In fact, you can see some damage over here. They have actually, I had this covered and this was exposed. So you can see what happens just literally overnight. So you want to cover those tender things. So while the garden is on its last leg, we are definitely trying to squeeze every last bit of life out of it we can. And next up is the animals. So we get a lot of animal questions about pigs and different things to watch out for, like how do you know if your animals are sick? What do you watch for? All these different things. And this is the time of year you definitely want to pay attention. We've actually had some pigs lately that are acting like they need a little extra attention. So we went out today and we gave them hay where they're sleeping. Just want to make sure they're warm, they're dry, they have a place that they can get warm and dry. And just if an animal stops coming up to eat, stops drinking, you just notice little signs, just pay attention. That's the main thing. You learn by experience, and you just have an intuition if you just listen to it on when something's not right with an animal. And this is the time of year at the season change that they can tend to get sick if they're going to, especially things like pneumonia and things like that creep in. So just be alert. If you don't feed your animals every day, say that they're grazing animals, at least check them every day. Just go make sure that you see them all, that everything looks like it should. Last thing I want to address that we get a lot of questions about is chickens. It is that time of year that the weather's turning cold, like we've been talking about this whole video, and chickens will tend to slow down or drop dramatically or stop altogether, for that matter, on laying eggs. And so we get that question a lot. Is that normal? What can I do about it? What's wrong? It's just natural, for one thing. Here on our farm, personally, we go through a spell in the hot summertime where they will stop, and then when it gets cold like this, they won't ever stop, because we keep fresh hens in there every single year. We add to our flock of spring baby chicks, so by fall they're starting to lay. But the older ones will definitely slow down. So we never have a time that we are completely not getting eggs, but we definitely have a time where it drops back dramatically. A couple things you can do. Now, there's all schools of thought on this. You can put a light in your chicken coop, and that will definitely help. It's kind of an artificial way of keeping them laying eggs. Some people disagree with that and think you should not provide artificial light, that you should let them do that to let them rest. And that is your choice as a chicken owner, so I'm not going to persuade you either way. But if you do put the light in there, you definitely will get more eggs. Another thing, up their feed just a little bit. Make sure the feed you're giving them is quality, and it's a good quality feed with a good amount of protein. And I think that you will see success with that. I think that probably your slump like we're in won't last as long. It could last a few weeks, but hopefully you will be heading in the right direction soon. If you just think about some light, think about your feed, maybe just make sure that their area is clean, that they have good hay in their nesting boxes, clean water. Those are always good practices that help any animal. I hope this video has helped you in some way. I hope that you're ready for the cold. Leave me a comment down below. What's going on your farm or homestead? Is it already freezing cold? Some of you up north are probably like, she doesn't even know. We're in 6 feet of snow right now, and some of you are probably in a tropical location. So leave down below or on our Facebook group, VW Family Farm and Friends, what's going on in your farm and homestead, and we will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. God bless.